Oh, it's down there.
Okay, I'll just bring the microphone.
So they can come up here. It's, she can take, you can take everything too. Is she gonna be talking? I want to write. Okay. Or they can, she can say this too. Okay.
I want to stand up.
They brought it out there
They're using.
at the cafeteria for the, after this.
That's all right. We're good. Best laid plans.
You know what, we can come up here and we can pull.
Yeah, I'll bring it up, and I'll stand out.
The heck just happened?
Comments. Did you get the press release? I emailed you
When did you email me?
this morning. Press release and picture.
I got the picture.
Okay.
That's it.
Press release should have been in the next email.
Do we need to have another meeting?
I'm calling the meeting to order. I see we have
3 missing.
missing.
Mary.
Why don't you call the roll, Rachel, and maybe they'll be here.
Archie, Baronis. Present. Bolin,
Here.
Gathing,
Present.
Johnston,
Present.
Verrett,
Present.
Williams.
Okay. If we want to rise to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we have nobody signed up for public comment, so we'll move on. We have a matter unrelated to the primary purpose for this meeting, which is the approval of appointment of support personnel. Can I have a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gathing. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Baronis. Would you call the roll, please?
Baronis. Yes. Gathing,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Verrett,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes. Okay, we need the other two board members.
Do you want me
Wait
to-
just a moment. Thanks for meeting with her.
We haven't said it. Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a motion to approve the hiring and appointment of Dr. Teresa A. Lance as the next superintendent of schools in District 111, beginning July 1st of 2024. Just a little background, and then we'll go for the motion. Dr. Lance is currently employed at Elgin Public School District, which is the second largest district in the state, and she's employed as an assistant superintendent of equity and innovation. Her previous experience has included serving as a superintendent of Thornton Fractional High School District 215, assistant superintendent of Harrison School District 2 in Colorado Springs, Colorado. She worked as a senior turnaround consultant for American Institutes of Research, and is a principal, assistant principal, and teacher for a number of years in the Baltimore, Maryland City Public School District. She's been employed in education for more than 27 years. She's received her doctoral degree in education leadership from the University of Phoenix, her licensure as a superintendent from the University of Colorado Springs, her graduate certificate in school administration from Johns Hopkins University, her Master's of Science and Bachelor of Science from the State University of New York at Cortland. I need a motion for the appointment.
So moved.
A motion is made by Mr. Gabbing. Is there a second?
Second.
A second is made by Ms. Johnston. Anybody want to make comments on the motion? If not, we would ask for a roll call, please.
Baronis,
Yes.
Gathing,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Verret,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Archie, Bolin,
Yes. The motion carries. Congratulations. Don't sit down, Dr. Lance. I need you to come up. The third item on the agenda was dealing with the contract. We are working on the contract at this point, and it will be finalized by the next board meeting. There were just some minor details that we needed to work out. But I'm going to make a few comments, if I can. I'm going to ask for the board if there's any comments from any of you that you would like to make.
I just want to welcome Dr. Lance, and we look forward to July 1st and starting, you coming in and taking over and continuing the path of Kankakee, District 111.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, I want to say congratulations, Dr. Lance. Your interview process was impressive. Just blew me away. So I'm excited to have you in our district. I think we've had some great foundation laid, and I think you can take us to the next step. So congratulations, and God bless you.
Thank you.
This was a humbling experience. I mean, we knew that this board had a big chore on their hands, and I can't say that it was fun, but I had a good time. And at one point in time, I said, I don't remember what you looked like. And when you walked in, I went, oh, you're the feisty one. Okay, yeah. So, and then I think I think I might have mentioned to some people that you started your career as a PE teacher.
I did.
You had my vote from that. So welcome, and it's going to be good to get to know you.
Thank you.
I'd like to say congratulations to Dr. Lance and welcome aboard, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Dr. Lance. Welcome to Kankakee District 111. May the force be with you.
I just want to say congratulations again, and I just look forward to bumping heads with you, and let's get into some work done that needs to be done.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Mine's a little bit longer because there's some things I want to explain for all the people who are here. And I appreciate the fact that you in the audience have come out. The first thing I want to say is I owe somebody sitting right over there a great deal of gratitude because I pulled her out of her Christmas vacation and I said, help. And she responded and didn't even complain, would laugh when I would apologize. But Rachel has, without Rachel, this process would have been so much more difficult and so much. I also want to say, specifically express my gratitude to Dr. Walters, sitting right here, obviously. She's provided transformative leadership to our district and will continue to do so for the next 6 months, I hope. We owe her a great deal. It's a very difficult time, and I shouldn't say this while Dr. Lance is sitting there just getting sworn in. But She's shown us 10 years of hard work and belief in our students, and that's what we have. That's all we can ask for. I think there's going to be a tough transition for you. You're going to be retiring from the position which you have worked so hard to fulfill. And now you're going to have to find something to fill that void, but you'll do it. I'm not worried. And she has offered, and we've accepted, a very gracious offer for her to participate fully in transition with Dr. Lance. You'll see Dr. Lance, I think, during the next 6 months, even though she's not formally working for us. But she desires greatly to get in now, get as much knowledge as she can, and hit the ground running. I want to share with you a little bit, and I am grateful to the other 6 board members. You're right, this was not an easy process. It was a lot of hard work. And because you're paid so well, I know how grateful the community is. But
I want to raise.
When our board began this process of finding the next superintendent, only Jess had any prior experience. We had some early disagreements about when we would start or whether we would use a search firm and who that firm would be. Then we started working together towards the goal of finding a new leader, and that was a good decision. We sent out a request for proposal, in part thanks to Rachel, because she helped draft that request when we were sort of stymied. We received responses from many search firms and ultimately hired SEC School Executive Connect to assist us in that search. That was a good decision.
Yes.
Then we learned that they were pretty good at their job, and we had 37 applicants from multiple states who were interested in being the next superintendent at Kankakee. Our search firm reviewed all of the applications and decided to reduce the number to 14. They then conducted the initial round of interviews. They then asked if we would be willing to interview. We had been told we would be interviewing 6, but we were asked to interview 8 candidates who they considered the top applicants. We agreed, and that was a good decision. Although 8 interviews in 2 back-to-back nights of about 5 hours, a little over 5 hours each, was not easy for us. Each of us asked questions that we had suggested, and were able to evaluate our own impressions. After discussion and a process of comparison, we were able to reduce the number to 3 finalists. Each of those finalists, we were told by SEC, was top tier, and they truly were. They were either currently working, some were working in other states, 2 of them, but they all had substantial national experience and had substantial experience as previous administrators. That final 3 that we chose was a good decision. Then came the final round of interviews. This time, each of us asked our questions again, and those questions that we came up with that time were more directed to each individual and were far more specific to each candidate. Each of those final 3 candidates were highly qualified to be our next superintendent. However, after the interviews were complete and we had the chance to compare notes and share our impressions, it was clear that one stood out. We settled on one candidate. That was a good decision. That candidate had extensive experience in districts which were similar to District 111. She was intense. She is, I should say, intense, focused, has a darn good sense of humor under a lot of stress in the interview. And we knew after her descriptions of what she intended to do, how she would approach her goals and our goals. But first, she said, I have to learn a lot more. That surprised me because she told us so much about our own district. And in the press release that I'll hand out later, I talk about that she has a very realistic opinion of District 111 and an attitude about 111, and she couldn't be more enthusiastic and raring to go than she is, and I appreciate that, Dr. Lance. Her approach will likely see her meeting and assessing student response to their education, cheering students on in both academics and extracurricular activities. That approach will be opening up both formal and informal opportunities with parents for their input and feedback. Finally, we will also see our next superintendent in the community meeting with leaders and interested community members. Those are all good decisions. We know that she's already started. She reported that in one of her unannounced visits to Kankakee, she spent time at the Kankakee Public Library talking to patrons there and asking them about moving to Kankakee. What was their advice? However, to verify her very good common sense, she also had lunch at Blue's Cafe, where she not only enjoyed the pie, but spoke with residents and patrons. For a couple of us, that kind of was a tipping point. All this is to say we're enthusiastic about the coming tenure of our next superintendent. Each of the applicants was given the opportunity to ask board questions. Our next superintendent asked each of us what it was about our job as board members that kept us awake at night. It was a profound moment for this board of 7 people to openly discuss what concerns are so serious that it keeps them awake at night. Other candidates asked what were our goals. Our response was that we wanted a superintendent whose work would result in a graduation rate of 98%. All of our students would be with a math and reading scores at grade level or higher. We would attract and retain highly qualified staff, and we would remain fiscally sound with increased fund balances. However, we did assure each of those candidates that they did not have to walk on water. We've now made our choice. I'm here to introduce Dr. Teresa Lance, our next superintendent of Kankakee. Let me say that after you meet Dr. Lance and have the chance to talk with her, and more importantly, after she starts achieving our goals, you will agree that this was a great decision. Dr. Lance, welcome to Kankakee District 111. You've got 6 months to start moving and get those feet running. And come July 1st, after Dr. Walters breaks you in to how things are in Kankakee, we look forward to working with you, to you giving us direction and us giving you responses and working with you to develop goals and achieve those goals for this district. We have a great staff, many of whom are out in this audience. We have a great community, many of whom are out in this audience. But this is the tip of the iceberg. It only is going to get better. So congratulations and welcome. You want the mic, or do you want to sit there?
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Sure,
Okay.
as long as everybody gets to see you.
Well, first, what an honor. I'm going to try to do this without crying, and if I do, don't think of it as a sign of weakness, just elated. Just elated. So many emotions. So I want to thank you, Board President Bolin, Board of Education, for such an honor. I don't take this lightly. This is a huge responsibility. My youngest daughter asked me last night, "What are you looking forward to?" And I said, first getting to know everyone in the community, including the Board of Education. Gave her some more. Then she said, "Well, what are you not looking forward to?" It's a huge lift. It's a huge undertaking to carry a district on your shoulders. So, Dr. Waters,
What?
I applaud you. I applaud you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So from my initial interview and throughout the vetting process, I was truly impressed by the thoughtful questions posed to me. Just incredible questions that required for me to dig deep and to answer authentically and in a way that really professed that we were going to move Kankakee in the right direction, to continue upon the successes that are already in place. I look forward to working with Dr. Walters and her team to ensure a smooth transition and becoming familiar with all things Kankakee. So I know she still lives in the community, and I'm going to get that address and ring her doorbell. To our families, staff, and students who may be in the audience this afternoon, thank you for coming. Thank you. Please note that I have shared my 100-day entry with the Board of Education, and although it is a draft for them to provide input for me, a part of that plan is really spending a great deal of time getting to know each and every one of you. So there'll be focus groups with staff members, there'll be focus groups with our parents, focus groups with families and our students, of course surveys, but again, the intent is to get to know each and every one of you. So again, thank you for being here. It really speaks to your investment in Kankakee and our entire school district. Notice I said our.
Yes.
I look forward to this opportunity to get to work with all of you. Before I close, I want to acknowledge my family, who I hope is watching on YouTube. My daughter just started college in Nashville, Tennessee. My youngest is a junior at HF High School. And they have been, truly my greatest cheerleaders. I lost my mother a little over a year ago, and I know she is watching.
Hey.
So I dedicate
Yes.
every single accomplishment to her. She was a single parent. She only went to high school, and it was incumbent, it was adamant that I continued my education. So I dedicate all of this to her, all of it, and my family. I love you all. Thank you.
After we adjourn, there is a reception. You can meet Dr. Lance for an hour or so and hang out.
Basketball game.
What's that?
And a girls' basketball game.
Oh, and afterwards, we go see the girls' basketball. Timing is everything, right? Anyway, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Gathing, seconded by Mr. Williams. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you again for coming.
Did you want me to make a copy?
Yeah, we need to give this to. I don't know. What do you think?
I make 10. I don't think you